Hi, I'm Tammy Fontana with On the Family Counseling Center Private Limited. Today I'm talking about how does sex therapy work, especially if you're somebody who's looking to do it. Um, a lot of times I have people inquiring about sex therapy, and it takes a huge amount of courage to be able to reach out for sex therapy because people have so many ideas and fears and about talking about sex. Um, with their partner, so you can only imagine the fear and anxiety they have in talking about it. And so one of the things I always want to make people aware of is sex therapy is therapy. So it's not like when we do sex therapy, we are only going to talk about sex. I can't talk about anything else. It's sort of the reverse, because when people are coming in for sex therapy, it's always in connection with difficulty of having sex with a romantic partner, whether that's a spouse, long-term partner. It's always in the context of a relationship. So whenever we're doing sex therapy, it's always in function of a relationship. So sex is not something disconnected from the relationship. It's a part of the relationship. And so sex therapy is therapy with maybe a focus on sex, but it's also focusing on the relationship. So we can't talk about sex without talking about your relationship or the person that you're having sex with. So sometimes what people mistakenly think is that it's going to be, a very graphic doing mechanical engineering thing, and that it's going to be very gory, and somehow we need to be in an office to do that. But like with all components of therapy, sexual therapy is again dealing with the relationship. It is dealing with your beliefs and ideas, your feelings about it, about you, your partner, your body, about your awareness of your sexuality, your belief, how you understand sex works inside a relationship, how it works for the other person. So sex is, again, helping you to become aware of yourself, how you think, how you calculate and process information and make decisions to inform your boundary and other things. So it's, again, about increasing self-awareness of yourself, which can sometimes be a painful process. And so in order to increase self-awareness, you have to develop a relationship with your therapist. So it's not just come in one hit, I give a bunch of tips and tricks like I'm a talking Google, but rather I have to develop a relationship with you so I can start to see and understand how you think, how you process, how you develop relationships. And then slowly I start to make you aware of yourself in ways that you've never been made aware of, that you may not have had any idea. I can also start to help you become aware of how your partner is experiencing you, and maybe help you understand the messages they've been giving you. So a lot of times I do sex therapy with a couple, or I do sex therapy with one person of the couple who doesn't understand why their partner doesn't want to have sex with them. They don't understand what they're saying, and I help them to translate that. Another component of sex therapy is a lot of times people really don't understand how sex works in a relationship, and that relational component, and that it's about how I feel. So I have a lot of people thinking sex is this wonderful, great thing. It feels so good. Our life is so good. Why don't we want to just have sex more? Why doesn't my partner want to have sex? And that's, again, where people have to learn about sex embedded in a relationship. So sex isn't just something out there. It's about you, partner, and you having sex with each other. And so a lot of times things that have nothing to do with sex affect sex. So things like parenting, how I've experienced you as a parent, as a co-parent, how supportive you're not. Are you pulling your weight around the house? Do you do what you say you do? Are you a person who's often arguing and offering your intentions, but you don't do what you say you're going to do? Do we have a lot of unresolved conflict, fights? All of these things will affect intimacy and how I feel about you. And if I don't feel like I can talk to you about parenting without it becoming a fight or we having bad feelings, talking about what I want from sex is going to be even further removed. Because when people have difficulty talking about finances, parenting, household chores, in-laws, if they're already having difficulties here, sex is a whole other area where people have a lot of unresolved feelings and ideas. That's even harder. So Another component is people often say, I want to have intimacy, I want to have intimacy, I want to feel close. Well, sex doesn't drive intimacy. Sex comes out of intimacy. So again, in therapy, I'm helping people to understand, what does intimacy mean, how to build it, how to create it. And a lot of these things will feel like we're not talking about sex because we're not talking about positions, we're not talking about acts, we're talking about feelings, the relational quality, boundaries, and how the two people get along. So hopefully this gives you a better idea. Everything I do is custom, and so there is no formula per se where everybody coming in for sex therapy is going to be run through a specific formula. It is customized and individualized based on each person's belief systems, their ability to recognize and process their feelings, how good they're at communicating. So hopefully this is helpful to understand a bit more about sex therapy, that it's therapy within a relationship, and how is the relationship quality and skills you need, and how is that impacting your sex life. So the two have to go together, talking about your relationship and talking about your sex life. So if you'd like more information, please reach out and ask me for information, or you can schedule a 10-minute call upon completion of a worksheet. Thanks.